I never thought I'd understand what it meant to be completely absorbed by a game. I mean, I played the occasional mobile game on my phone, but that was about it. My life before her was simple: work, a couple of friends, and weekend basketball. Then I met Mia. She wasn't like anyone I'd ever met. She had this spark in her eyes, and I thought it was charm at first. Later, I realized it was the thrill of victory in games. I met her at the cafe down the street from my apartment. She was wearing oversized headphones and tapping away on her laptop like she was in a different universe. I walked up, trying to say something witty, and she didn't even notice me for a full 30 seconds. Then she looked up, smiled faintly, and said, "You're in the way of my dungeon raid." I froze. Dungeon raid? I barely knew what that meant. But somehow, I laughed, and we started talking. She introduced me to her world slowly, like a tour guide, showing you a city you've never been to. First, it was small things: what a healer does, what loot meant, why people screamed at their screens. I nodded, pretending I got it, but inside I was thinking, this is madness. Then she invited me to join a co-op game. Just one. I said yes, because I didn't want to look uncool. The moment the game started, chaos erupted. Mia was fast, precise, and somehow managed to give me instructions while fighting off monsters. I was fumbling, getting hit, panicking. She yelled at me, "No, don't run that way, circle left," and I ran straight into a trap. Our team lost. I was embarrassed, but she laughed. Not mean laughter, but the kind that made you feel included. After that day, our relationship changed. We spent evenings together, not just talking, but playing. Her apartment became my new reality. Posters of imaginary worlds covered the walls, shelves stacked with figurines of creatures I couldn't name. She had snacks in little labeled bins, cords everywhere, and a chair that looked like it belonged in a spaceship. I realized this was her comfort zone, and slowly it became mine too. Then came the hook. One evening she got a mysterious message in her game. Not a normal friend request or an invite, but something strange, almost like a challenge. She frowned and muttered, "This isn't usual. I need to check this out." Curious, I leaned over her shoulder. The message was an invitation to a secret tournament. The prize? Something she whispered only to herself. The ultimate weapon in the game. At first I didn't get it. "It's just a game," I said. She looked at me seriously. "It's not just a game," she said. "This tournament, it's special. Dangerous even. And I want you to see it." That was the first time I realized that her gaming wasn't just fun, it was everything to her. We entered the tournament together. At first it was exhilarating. The environment was unlike anything I'd seen. The virtual world she navigated was huge, with floating islands, rivers of light, forests that glowed, and creatures that seemed alive. The sounds were immersive: wind that whispered, water that splashed when you walked through it, the occasional roar of beasts. I felt like I was inside her mind, but the deeper we got, the harder it became. There were rivals who didn't just play to win, they played to humiliate. One player, a shadowy figure named Vox, seemed to know everything about her style. Every move she made, he countered. I could see her frustration, the way her fingers tightened around the controller, the way she muttered to herself. And yet, she never gave up. I started to realize something important about Mia. She wasn't just good because of skill. She was good because she didn't quit. She analyzed, she adapted, she learned from her mistakes, instantly. Watching her was like seeing a storm. You knew it was coming, unstoppable, and beautiful. As the tournament progressed, I had to step up too. At first, I was a liability. I fell off cliffs, misclicked spells, and panicked when creatures attacked. But she encouraged me. "Focus. You have to see patterns, not just react." Slowly, I improved. We developed a rhythm, a teamwork, that felt like dancing. Our avatars moved together, covering each other, healing, attacking, supporting. It was the first time I understood why she loved this world so much. Then came the final challenge. Vox had grown stronger, faster, smarter. The last stage was an arena floating in the sky, surrounded by thunderclouds and lightning. It wasn't just about reflexes anymore. It was about strategy, trust, and courage. I watched her take the lead, commanding, directing. But then something went wrong. A trap she didn't see triggered, and she was cornered. Instinctively, I jumped in, helping her. We fought together, side by side, matching our moves. It wasn't perfect, and we almost lost. But finally, we cornered Vox. In the final moment, she executed a move I didn't even understand, and the arena erupted in light. We won. Afterward, she laughed, exhausted but exhilarated. See? I told you it wasn't just a game. I nodded, realizing how right she was. I had entered her world thinking I could observe, but I ended up being part of it, and I loved it. That night, as we logged off, she looked at me and said, "You know, you didn't just play, you grew." I smiled. So did you. And that's how I learned that loving a gamer isn't about understanding every move, or knowing every term. It's about showing up, being present, and trusting the person beside you, whether in a digital world or the real one. The morning after the tournament, Mia and I didn't talk much about the game. We just sat on her couch, sipping coffee, the sunlight streaming through the blinds. I watched her scroll through her phone, her eyes bright, but thoughtful. I wanted to ask about Vox, about the strange intensity in the tournament, but I hesitated. There was a part of her world she wasn't ready to share yet. A few days later, the unexpected happened. I got a message from Mia. "Meet me at the arcade at 6. I frowned. We didn't usually meet at arcades. It was old school, loud, neon lights buzzing overhead. I found her at a corner machine, tapping furiously on the controls. She looked up, eyes wide, and said, "You have to try this." The game was different. It wasn't online. It was physical, a mix of reflexes, strategy, and teamwork. The machines around us lit up, flashing patterns we had to match, obstacles we had to avoid. At first I struggled. My fingers weren't quick enough, my eyes missed details. But Mia coached me, her hands sometimes guiding mine. "Feel the rhythm, don't fight it, move with it." By the end of the night, we weren't just playing, we were synchronized. People stopped to watch, impressed by how two complete strangers, or rather, a couple, just a week into this challenge, moved like they had rehearsed for years. I realized then that gaming with Mia wasn't just about fun. It was about connection, trust, and communication. Then came the next hook, a real-world twist. Mia got a call from someone I hadn't expected. It was her former mentor, a pro gamer, named Kale. He sounded urgent, almost alarmed. "Mia, there's something you need to see. A new game, not just online. It's evolving. Dangerous." I felt my stomach twist. Dangerous? How could a game be dangerous? Mia didn't explain much, only that it was a challenge unlike anything she had faced before. She looked at me, eyes serious. "I need you with me for this one." We entered the new game together. This time, it wasn't just about monsters or battles. It was a city, a digital metropolis that mirrored reality. We had avatars, yes, but the game tracked movement, logic, and even choices we made in the real world. It was immersive, too immersive. Neon streets stretched endlessly. Holographic billboards flashed warnings, and digital citizens walked around, reacting to our every decision. Our goal was simple but terrifying. Reach the core tower at the city center, and stop a rogue AI from destabilizing the entire game. Sounds simple? It wasn't. The AI adapted. Every mistake we made changed the world. Bridges collapsed, streets shifted, and obstacles appeared where none existed before. We faced challenges I hadn't imagined. Rival players tried to trap us. Puzzles demanded logic and timing I didn't think I had, and sometimes Mia got frustrated. I watched her bite her lip, close her eyes, and then snap back into focus. That's when I realized how much courage she carried inside her. Not just skill, but determination. I made mistakes too. I accidentally triggered a trap that nearly ended our progress. Mia yelled, frustrated at first, but then she caught my hand. "You're learning. That's what matters. We do this together." I nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility, but also a strange sense of pride. As we got closer to the core tower, the AI began speaking to us. Its voice was cold, almost human. "You don't belong here. You will fail." I felt fear creep in, but Mia never wavered. She adjusted our strategy, communicated clearly, and even made room for me to contribute. That night, I realized something essential. She trusted me, even when I doubted myself. Finally, we reached the tower. The AI threw everything at us. Illusions of our fears. Enemies stronger than anything we'd faced. Walls that shifted and closed in. For a moment, I panicked, but Mia's voice cut through the chaos. "Look at me. We've got this." We moved as one, striking at weaknesses, dodging attacks, solving the final puzzles together. And then, just as the city began to collapse around us, we succeeded. The AI flickered and disappeared, leaving silence in its wake. We stood at the top of the core tower. virtual wind whipping past our avatars. The neon city below calm again. After we logged out, Mia hugged me tightly. "You did amazing today," she said softly. I smiled, realizing how far we had come. From fumbling in a dungeon raid to saving a city together, we had grown, not just in skill, but as a team. The next weeks were quieter. We played smaller games, laughed more, and shared parts of our lives that weren't about screens or avatars. But I knew something had changed. Mia wasn't just my girlfriend. She was my partner in challenges, in learning, in life. And I wasn't just a bystander in her world anymore. I was part of it. One evening we sat on her balcony, city lights twinkling below. I asked her, "Do you ever think about why you love gaming so much?" She looked at me, thoughtful, then said, "It's not the games themselves. It's the challenges, the growth, the people. It's everything I want life to be." I realized then that loving her meant embracing her world, even the parts I didn't fully understand. It wasn't about being perfect or skilled. It was about showing up, trying, and being there, through chaos and triumph alike. And I decided then and there that I would always be by her side, controller in hand or not. It started on a normal Saturday. I was making breakfast, trying to be helpful, when Mia's phone buzzed. Her eyes widened as she read the message, and for a moment, I saw a look I hadn't seen before. "Fear. This is bigger than anything we've faced," she said quietly. I frowned. "Bigger? How can a game get bigger than the last one?" She shook her head. "It's not just a game. This is a live, multi-city tournament. Real-world consequences. People have already been hurt, trying to play it." I swallowed. "And you want to go in?" She nodded. "I have to. And I want you with me." The next day, we were in a massive arena, filled with thousands of players. It looked like a convention center, but the energy was electric, almost chaotic. Everyone had VR rigs strapped on, gloves, boots, and sensors. The air smelled like energy drinks and excitement. Lights flashed, screens displayed scores, and the roar of anticipation made my chest thump. Mia grabbed my hand. "Don't panic, remember what we've learned. Trust each other." We stepped into the first stage, a sprawling virtual labyrinth that twisted and shifted. The moment we started, I realized how much I had grown. My reflexes weren't perfect, but I could anticipate patterns, follow her instructions, and even suggest strategies. For the first time, I felt like an equal partner, not just a spectator. But the challenges escalated quickly. The AI controlling the game was smarter than anything we've faced. It set traps that targeted our weaknesses, illusions that tried to make us fight each other, and puzzles that seemed impossible. Players around us were falling, some in tears, others frustrated beyond belief. Then came the first major twist. One of the rivals from the online tournament, Vox, appeared again. He wasn't just a player, he was a strategist, a predator in this game. He cornered Mia during a challenge, forcing her to make a choice, risk losing or risk everything. I saw her hesitate for a split second, and I knew she needed me. I jumped in, distracting Vox, giving her the chance to escape. We fought together, side by side, coordinating moves, predicting traps. At that moment, I understood something critical. This wasn't just a test of skill. It was a test of trust, courage, and connection. The final stage was the most daunting. A digital city consumed by a storm, streets twisting impossibly, buildings floating and collapsing. The AI spoke again, this time in a voice that sounded almost human. "You cannot win. You will fail, and he will fail too." I glanced at Mia. She was trembling, but her eyes were steady. "We've got this," she said, gripping my hand. We moved forward, avoiding hazards, solving puzzles, and facing rivals who had nothing but ruthlessness in their eyes. Each obstacle tested more than our reflexes. It tested our patience, our judgment, and our ability to trust each other completely. Then came the climax. Vox trapped Mia in a collapsing building. Time was running out. I realized I had only one chance. Using everything we had learned, I coordinated with her, creating a plan in real time. "Jump left on my mark," I yelled. She nodded. I counted down and we leaped, narrowly escaping destruction. Finally, we reached the core of the storm, a massive tower pulsing with energy, the AI's heart of control. Mia took the lead, analyzing patterns, deciphering codes, issuing instructions. I followed, assisting, supporting, and sometimes making the difference with a single quick action. It was a battle of strategy, courage, and trust. The AI tested our minds and our hearts, presenting visions of fear, failure, and doubt. For a moment I almost froze, but Mia's voice pulled me back. Look at me, we're stronger together. With one final coordinated move, we disrupted the AI, its systems collapsing into harmless light. The storm lifted, the virtual city stabilized, and the arena erupted in applause. We had done it. Together. Afterward, we sat on a bench outside the arena, sweat dripping, hearts pounding. Mia turned to me, smiling tiredly. You did it. We did it. I laughed, shaking my head. I still can't believe I survived that. She leaned her head on my shoulder. It's not about surviving. It's about being there for each other. That's what matters. In the weeks that followed, life slowed down again. We played smaller games, spent quiet evenings together, and laughed at our earlier fears. But something had changed. I wasn't just a bystander in her world anymore. I was a teammate, a partner, and more importantly, a part of her life in a way I never expected. One night, as we watched the stars from her balcony, Mia said, I've realized something. Gaming isn't just about winning or losing. It's about connection, growth, and courage. And you've taught me that just as much as I've taught you. I smiled, feeling the warmth of the moment. I guess being with a gamer isn't just about understanding the game. It's about learning to face challenges together. She grinned. Exactly. And I can't imagine facing them with anyone else but you. That night, I knew something important. Love, like gaming, isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, trusting each other, and growing together. And with Mia by my side, I was ready for anything, even the next impossible level.